Hey everybody, Justin here. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to discuss the real reason why you're not confident. If you watch this video to the very end, you're going to learn the real reason why you're not confident. You're going to learn why other confidence tricks and perhaps programs in the past have not worked for you. And you're going to learn what you actually need to do to gain real, authentic, natural confidence. If you're new here, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and let's get straight to the video. Okay, so let's just dive right into the real reason why you're not confident. And as always, I never say these things with judgment because this was me for a lot of my life. Low self-confidence, insecure, constantly seeking external validation. So if this is you, I've been there, trust me. And so this is no judgment at all. But let's talk about why you're not confident. So I wanted to discuss this idea of what I call the confidence culture. I don't know how else to describe it, but basically it's these traditional ideas, these traditional programs and books that have taught us in order to be confident, we need to change ourselves. So if we are someone who has low self-confidence, then we need to change some parts of ourselves to appear to be more confident. This can be different tips and tricks and techniques and ways to do things, or like if you're a guy, changing your voice to be deeper, or if you're a woman, like putting your makeup on a certain way to look or appear more confident, or dress a certain way to appear more confident. Yes, some of these things can boost like little pieces of confidence here and there, and they can help maybe add a little bit of icing on the cake. But the real problem why you're not confident is because what you're trying to do is add upon layer upon layer upon layer of these different tips and tricks to someone who's not confident. You're not dealing with what's going on in here. You're trying to change your appearance. You're trying to change how other people see you without changing what's going on in here. The real problem here is that we have been all taught to be in this paradigm that in order to be confident, we can't be ourselves. And if we are going about life with that as our foundation, then of course we're not going to be confident, because we've been told that we can't be ourselves in order to be confident. We have to change who we are to feel more confident. And having that as our root is just a recipe for disaster. That's going to bleed into everything: our relationships, our job, how much money we think we can make, what we do with our lives, who we choose as our partners, and just the actions we take and the overall goals that we have in life. It's going to be constantly seeking to be this other person and then receive external validation from the outside world to make sure you're doing a good job of not being yourself. That's why you're not confident in a nutshell. If we are just adding layer upon layer upon layer of these different tricks and tips and techniques and trying to change our appearance to a person who is internally low self-confident or has low self-confidence, that's what insecurity is. That's being scared that we're going to be found out. That's being scared of being who we actually are. That is how you allow the external world to trigger you, and then you need to shut down to the external world. You need to make sure certain topics are not brought up around you. You need to make sure you don't talk to certain people, or people who say these kinds of things cannot be around you. So, we've just established the real reason that you're not confident is because you've been taught you need to be someone else in order to be confident. You've been taught that who you are is not okay. So are you ready for the difference in what having true, authentic confidence actually is? Because it's not changing who you are. It's actually releasing the part of you that is telling you that you're not confident. It's letting go of the programming that's telling you that you're not good enough. And in doing so, you expand in confidence by being more and more yourself. Let's take this one step further. It's being more and more yourself and knowing that there's going to be people who are still not going to like you and being completely okay with it. It's expanding into this bigger version of you, speaking your truth, living your truth, and knowing that people will still disapprove of you. People will still not be attracted to you. People will still not like you. And you're still completely okay with it. That is true and natural self-confidence. It's not needing the world to look a certain way. It's not needing every single person to like you. It's not seeking validation from everyone to make sure you're doing a good job of being this person that you've created. No. It's releasing all the things, all the programs, all the beliefs that have told you you're not good enough, that have told you you don't have high self-confidence. It's releasing that, expanding into your authenticity, and being completely okay with however the external world wants to look as you're expanding into yourself. That is true, natural self-confidence that doesn't rely on anyone or anything outside of yourself, and it becomes an endless stream, an unwavering stream that only you have control over, and it all depends on how much of it you want to let happen. So let's dive a little bit deeper into this idea of letting go of the programming that's running your mind, that's running your life, because the parts of you that are telling you you're not confident or that are telling you you're not good enough, it's not actually you. It's just a program that's been running your mind. It's a program that's been picked up unconsciously based on your past experiences, based on your past belief systems or your current belief systems as well, and your thought patterns that you've gotten so used to thinking in. It's these different filters that you've placed upon your reality. It's these filters that you see life through. You've decided this about yourself in an unconscious state, probably when you're younger, and so this has become your paradigm, but it's not real. And I have really advanced, really effective techniques for undoing the programming. This video is not going to get into the techniques. I have plenty of other videos on that, and I'll put a few links in the description and also a card up here on the video. So if you're interested in that, make sure to either pause this video and go to those videos or just watch it right after this one. Without getting too far into the rabbit hole of techniques, the basic idea of how to start living with your true, natural, authentic confidence is by expanding into who you are and becoming aware and more aware of the programs that are running your mind that have told you you need to be a certain way. And so as you start getting better and better at this, you get to a point where you see the program running, and the program is the way your body's been conditioned, so your emotions, the way your brain and mind has been conditioned, your belief systems, old traumas from your past. You get to the point where you see the program running with such clarity, just as clear as you see the external world. So you look into your internal world as clearly as you see the external world. And you get to the point where you know that you're not your program. How do you know? Because you're watching it. And if you're watching the program, you cannot be the program. Like when you're on a computer. If you're on a computer program, you're not the computer. You're the one, in there doing things and observing the program, but you're not the program itself. And so it's the same concept. You build this relationship with who you actually are, your authenticity, and you start interacting with this portion of yourself more and more and letting go of the old programming. And so you quite literally start interacting with life in a completely different way. You might even do the same things, but it's the paradigm behind what you're doing. It's the intentionality behind what you're doing that's different. As you become more and more aware of your internal world, you also become aware of all the little pieces of self-worth that you have handed out one by one to so many people for them to determine how much you're worth. And so once we start interacting with life in this new empowered paradigm, we start realizing how much of our self-worth we've given to other people. And once we can start realizing that, then we can pick them up piece by piece, taking them back and bringing them home, which is right here. The only person that can decide how much I'm worth, how good I am, is myself. Nothing else. No one else, no outside circumstance. Even if someone is looking me in the face, telling me how much they hate me, how ugly I am, doesn't matter. And the beauty, I love talking about this, the beauty of getting to that point is that you realize those people who are judging you, those people who are your haters, those people who are going out of their way to tell you how much they dislike you, are a slave to their own programming. They're just a slave to their own programming, and they're deeply insecure. That's the only reason that they would do that. They would outwardly spread that toxicity to you in the first place, is because inside they're insecure. If they're a whole, complete, secure person, they would never do that. And so you get to the point, I was talking about this earlier, where not only are you okay with people not liking you, but you have sympathy, you have compassion, you understand where they're coming from because they're just a slave to their old programming. And what happens is when you start shining, when you start living and speaking your truth, the people who are ready to see that, the people who are ready to do that for themselves, come out of the woodwork and become your new tribe. And that's what's happened to me. As soon as I started expanding into who I really am, and when I started letting go of the programming that ran my life for so long, the insecurities, and started shining, people came out of the woodwork. People I haven't talked to in so long, who are resonating with me, resonating with what I'm talking about, what I'm teaching, and talking about their own personal path with the same ideas. And so you start opening this path for other people to start doing the same thing, for other people to start waking up. There's a really good quote by Marianne Williamson, and I'm going to paraphrase it a little bit, but it goes something like, "You playing it small does not serve the world. And when you shine, you give other people the permission to shine as well." Now, the beauty of this and the main difference between this kind of confidence and the first kind of confidence from the confidence culture is that in confidence culture, the traditional way of gaining confidence, you can always revert back to low self-confidence because you're not actually confident. So it's going to be, this wave of confidence and low confidence. And if someone rejects you, then, you go back to low self-confidence again. When you build this kind of natural confidence, there's no going back. There's no going back. Once you peel back the layers of programming, you don't go back to low self-confidence. You just keep moving forward into more and more confidence because you're moving forward and becoming more and more of yourself, of who you really are. How hard is it to be yourself? Not hard at all. In fact, it's the easiest thing on the planet because you're just being. You're just being without having to appear a certain way or act a certain way or look like you're confident. It's just being you. And you can go about life with ease. I really hope you got something of value in today's video. This is a topic that I'm so passionate about because it's been my journey over the last couple years. And it's actually what I coach people on. I do one-on-one coaching with people about this kind of subject, about being more authentically yourself. And in doing so, you build this endless stream of confidence that comes with being yourself. So if that's something you're interested in, I do have a link below where you can find out more information about that kind of coaching. But either way, I hope you got something of value from this. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe button. That way, more and more people can see and listen to this kind of teaching. If you know somebody who could use this kind of advice, send them this video. This is great. I want more and more people to wake up to their authenticity and stop feeling like they have to be someone else.